Hey, what is up guys? It's the Michigan Minecrafter back here with another video, and today I wanted to show you guys a really cool game that I found. That it's actually available on Steam, and it's just a really cool game that I've seen other people play. It's called Kerbal Space Program, as you can see right here. I'm going to be playing the demo just because I don't know if I necessarily want the full version of the game. Obviously, if you guys are interested enough, I might get it, but for now I'm not. I'm just going to be playing in the demo because the demo is actually pretty cool on its own. So already we've got some Kerbals out here. So if you couldn't guess, this game is about space and building rockets and that kind of thing. So it's basically a giant rocket simulator, which is super cool. So let's go to resume saved. I've got a couple of rockets that I already have built because I'm going to keep this first episode of it as short as possible, just so that you guys will want to watch it, obviously, because I know you guys don't like clicking on very long videos. So already I've got some saved rockets. I'm going to show you guys. So which one do I want to start with? It gives you a couple to begin with when you first start out, just to mess around with and that kind of thing. So what do I want to use? Well, I'll show you the couple that they give you to start out with. So this is the first one that they give you to start out with. And you can go through and build all your own rockets. It's super cool, and there's all sorts of different things you can add to them. And the physics are actually really cool too. So this is a little tiny rocket that they give you to begin with. And all I have to do is go to launch. Oh, whoops. Okay, I can't launch quite yet because there's a couple of other rocket debris things that are still out there. Let's just delete some of these. There we go. Okay. I don't expect you guys to understand what I just did right there. I meant to do that before the recording started. Alright. So let's go launch this one. So one really cool thing about this game too is that it actually has the moon. I don't know if I can see it from here. Is it anywhere around here? No, I guess I can't see it from here. But if I click on the... Actually, I need to move this screen a little bit because I can't see all my buttons. There we go. If I click on the orbit map, it'll show me all of the area that I'm actually able to get to. I think in the full version you can actually get to other planets and build space stations and stuff. But in the demo, I guess the goal would be to get to the moon, which they spell... M-U-N, kind of funny, but yeah, geez, that is a really high altitude. So apparently the moon is actually 11 million feet or meters away from the Earth. Well, learn something new every day. Alright, so what we're gonna do, since this is a little rocket, I don't expect it to get very high, but over here we've got different stages of the rocket. So these two down here, this is the little stand thing. It lets go of the rocket and lets it fly away, and the engine, and the little thing that lets the pod that the little Kerbal guy is in, that lets that disconnect, and then there's a parachute, of course. So let's blast it off. Oh jeez. Alright, I messed that up. Let's see, end flight, restart flight. Okay, I accidentally made it fall to the ground before I could make it lift off. Okay, here we go, and dang it. I have them. Okay, maybe I need to Space Center, boom. Alright, let's make a separate stage for this one because that is kind of obnoxious. There we go. Okay, so now if I go to launch it, we can actually not blow up on launch. Alright, here we go. So 3, 2, 1. Get the engine going. Oh, what the heck? Why is it not going off? Okay, apparently this rocket is just derpy for some reason. We can go use a different one. so let's find a different one that I have saved. So the other one that it gives you to start out with is the Kerbal 5 stock. So let me just load that in real quick. So already you can see this is a lot bigger of a rocket, and it's got all sorts of cool gear and stuff on it. And this one should fly a lot higher too. So let's go do that. And hopefully the stages on this are the way they're supposed to be. Okay, here we go. And 3, 2, 1. And here we go. Blasting off. And surprisingly, this game actually runs really well too. Obviously, I'm recording in 30 FPS, so you guys won't be able to necessarily appreciate the full extent of how smoothly this game runs, but it's actually really nice. Okay, rocket is going pretty well. Although it seems to be curving a little bit. Let's move the fins to fix that. There we go. Blast all those off. And then that should disconnect into a little tiny rocket, which kind of looks like the one that we started out with. Oh geez. Okay, I'm not sure why the engine on that doesn't seem to work. Maybe I'm just doing the controls wrong, which is always a possibility. So now we have our little pod. You can see our little Kerbal down there is really afraid, but not to worry. I'm gonna make the parachute come out before we hit the ground. I just don't want it to take too long. Okay, and 500 meters, and let the parachute out. There it is. And all the other debris is falling to the ground and blowing up. Yeah, it's a really cool game. So once this reaches the ground, you can see our little Kerbal guy is happy now. We can actually EVA him, which means that he can pop out and walk around and look at what's going on, which would be really helpful if I could figure out how to make it to the moon. I think that's going to be my goal in one of the future episodes. If you guys decide you want me to record more episodes of this, that's going to be my goal, is trying to get to the moon. So almost to the ground. Come on. Only 100 more meters to go. And there it is. Okay, so now that our little pod's on the ground, we can press EVA. And now we got our little Kerbal guy walking around. Okay, jump off. There we go. He was stuck on the ladder. And there he is. These guys are so funny looking. But yeah, so that's the little characters that are inside the rockets. So now we can go check out another rocket if we want to. So let's end the flight. And it's cool. It actually records all the different stuff that goes on. So there's like a yeah, I can't remember what word I was thinking of there. Okay, so let's go back to the vehicle assembly building. And now I'm going to show you a couple of the rockets that I've made already. So one of the ones I've made is Best Spacecraft, and I'm just going to use the version 2 because it tends to work better than the version 1. There it is! The least safe looking rocket you've ever seen. But it actually flies a lot higher than the big rocket that they give you to mess around with, believe it or not. So let's go test it out. Here we go. Take it out to the launch pad. And there it is. What a beast. Okay, so I'm just going to press the space bar to get it started, and boom. And we're off. But the problem is, this one is kind of top heavy, so I have to do a lot of controlling in order to keep it from, a lot of maneuvering with the fins and stuff in order to keep it from going all over the place. Okay, let's keep it upright. And as you can see over on the side, this actually has a lot of stages to it. So, go. And the bottom broke off, and then that should break off, and we can start the second stage of engines. And pressing to get this 23. There we go. That's the one I needed. So, actually, while we're in kind of, well, hold on. Let me wait for the pod to be ready to be broken off before I do this. Oh wow, we're at 15,000 feet right now. So real quick, I can go into here, and if we go to the other side of the world, we can see it maps out a whole arc for us of where this aircraft is going to go. So it looks like right now it's saying it's going to go into the ocean when it finally reaches the ground, but that's probably going to change when we boost the little pod off of there. And we're actually still not at the peak of our arc yet. Okay, now we're at the peak. So we can boost that off. Bye-bye, giant rocket chunk. There it goes. Yeah, so, yeah, this game, it's really cool looking. So, we're actually pretty high up. I think we may have reached 20,000 feet. I don't know, I wasn't paying attention, but yeah, we might have reached 20,000 feet when we were up at our highest. So, as you can see, we're on our way back down the arc now. And eventually this is going to land in the water. Hopefully. I don't want it to land on that island. It'd be kind of bad. Especially since I don't have, like, little, foot things attached to this. Like, little, what do you call them? Like, little stand things that fold out when you are ready to land on the ground. Because they actually do have those. And they work really well. So, it's coming down. Yeah, over there, all the little markers on the map are chunks of other of other ships that I've blasted off before. And obviously, there's a lot over at the launch pad because of the ones that blew up as I was trying to launch them. So we're getting pretty close. Yeah, once I get under like 400 meters, I'll make the parachute come out. Our little Kerbal looks totally terrified right now. Not to worry. Okay. Almost there. It's weird. The only complaint I have about the game, and I think this is the same for the full version, is a lot of the landscape textures are kind of low resolution, which makes it hard to tell like how close to the ground you are. Like, obviously you can look up here at the dial. Riley! Riley and Pippi are wrestling. Aiden, can you get them? Obviously you can look up at the dial to see how far away you are, but it is kind of hard to tell in terms of how far away the ground is. Alright, here we go. And land nice and smoothly in the water. There we go. Alright, now our little pod's in the water and we can EVA our little Kerbal guy. There he is. There's a little swimming animation too, look at that. And there's our little Kerbal guy. Yep. So that was a good example of a successful water landing. I've had plenty of unsuccessful ones in all of my experience with Kerbal Space Program. Okay, so one of the last ones I want to show you guys is the little airplane thing that I made. In the full version of the game, you can actually make airplanes that are set up to be airplanes. But unfortunately, in the demo, you can't make specifically excuse me. You can't specifically make airplanes. So terminate. There we go. Yeah, for some reason it won't let you have more than 3 different rockets out and about, like their remains out on the landscape at one time. Okay, here we go. We're gonna launch the little airplane, and I've actually tested this one out before and it works surprisingly well, considering that they don't really intend for you to make airplanes with this version of the game. angle the wings down a little bit, since the airplane is a little bit less angled downwards. Although we're already at 500 feet, or meters above the ground. So, just eject. Oh, jeez. How did that not blow me up? What is that? I think something just like flew way into the air. But yeah, so the only downfall to the airplanes obviously is that when you try to eject the pod off of the rest of the airplane, sometimes it runs into some issues with being blown up just because parts of the airplane fly into it. And yeah, so since you guys have already kind of seen what it looks like to land, and actually we're not that high above the ground, but since you guys have already seen what it looks like to land, we will move on to the final rocket in a sec. Yep, so there it is. We can get our little guy out. And there he is. There's our little Kerbal. Alright, so now we can end that flight. And let's do our final airplane. So the last one that I have is the big airplane. There it is. Yeah, so it's pretty big. And these are the legs I was actually talking about, how you can make it easier to land on, what was it? Oh, land on normal land as opposed to a water landing, because those will actually go down. So, alright, should be ready, and oh jeez, started going backwards for a second there. Again, another downfall of trying to make airplanes in this version of the game. Looks like we're actually on a pretty good trajectory right now. Sometimes I've had issues with this one just because at times it will try to like spin out and just completely blow itself up, even if it doesn't actually hit anything. Alright, going pretty well right now. And you know what, since how do I want to do this? I'll get pretty close to the ground, and I will eject the pod that has our little Kerman in it. And then what we're gonna do, well, I'm gonna do that really close to the ground so that you guys can kind of see the destruction in the game, because the destruction isn't like super crazy, but it's still kind of fun to look at. Oh, there's our other little airplane right there. I think that's the one that we just did. Jeez, we are nosediving right now. This is gonna be perfect. Okay, let's flatten out a little bit. Okay. Here we go. Bend straight for the ground, and I think I'm gonna eject at 500. There we go. And there goes. Yep, there goes the other part of the rocket. And then if I press G, you're gonna see the little foot things go out, and there it goes. Yeah, it's funny. I'm surprised I didn't end up having more rockets explode during this video, because I've had a lot of issues with that when I was just messing around with the game, as far as rockets not doing what I want them to do. But this actually went pretty well. So if we eject our little Kerman right there, there he is. Oh, and you might recognize this from the thumbnail, as far as this little pod with the legs and our little Kerman. But yeah, so if you guys enjoyed this, definitely be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and comment down below if you want to see me make more episodes of this where I actually design rockets, or actually also leave a comment if you have any suggestions for rockets you want me to make. I mean, obviously my main goal is going to be to try to make it to the moon, as you saw before. But if you guys have any other ideas or other suggestions of things that you might want to see, definitely be sure to leave those. So yeah, I think that's about it, guys, and I will see all of you in the next video.